Welcome back to Adobe Photoshop CC. In this tutorial we're going to explore how to save your image properly for the web. So as you can see here, I have this PSD file and it's titled Rain, and I have a JPEG and a PNG file of the same image here. And I'm going to explain some things, and then I'm going to show you how to properly save the PSD for web size. If we go to image and go down to image size, you'll see that this image is actually 4752 by 3868 pixels. And currently it has a resolution of 72, but remember, resolution has to do with print. So if I uncheck resample, I can set this to 300 for a standard sort of overall print resolution, and you'll see here the width and height changed in inches regardless. And if I hit 72 for resolution, it goes back to 44 by 66. It doesn't matter, I can adjust this independently for print. So just realize you want to uncheck resample and set that to 300 if you're going to print this image. But for the web, you want it to be set to resample. And you can go in here and switch to pixels and actually go through and adjust the size. But this takes a long time to do, going through this image size menu box. This isn't the best way to do this. So I'm going to go through a better way, and basically the way that everyone does now, which is the export for web legacy method. So I'm going to cancel out here. Before I do, realize the dimension size here. Again, 4700 approximately by 31 pixels. If we go to these JPEGs, I want to just show you this real quick. If I go to image size, you'll see this is 960 by 640 with a resolution of 72. Again, this is just for print purposes, so you don't really have to pay attention to this. But look at the file size, 1.6 megs there. On the PNG file, it is exactly the same. If I go to image size, we got the 960 by 640 and 1.676 megs. What I wanted you to know about these differences, again, go to image size for the PSD, we have a lot more pixels to deal with here. And again, the file size is much larger, 43.1 megs. But if we zoom in, we have detail for print. Where if we zoom in on one of these images, the JPEG or the PNG, you can see here the resolution is not great for print at all. Now, if I hit Control 0 or Command 0 on the Mac, I'll basically zoom out to 100%. And you'll see with PNG is not the best file format to save out. The reason why is the tonalities are not smooth enough. For images that have lots of basically photographs like this, the better format is the JPEG. And the reason why is it tends to have nice transitions for smooth areas like the blending that happens in the clouds here. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go to this PSD here. I'll hit Control 0, Command 0 to zoom out. And it's under the File menu. You have this export option. And down here, you could do export as a quick PNG. Again, you're not going to get the best results. If you do the export as, what it's going to bring up is this menu here where you can choose the PNG and JPEG and GIF and SVG, which is the sort of newer setting here, which this isn't bad. But I'm actually going to go with the older setting, which is under File, Export, and go down to Save for Web Legacy. And in this box here, we're going to go over a few things. The first thing is you have the original and the optimize. You can choose the two up, which shows the original and the JPEG here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out by hitting Control minus or Control plus a couple times to zoom out and until I see the entire image here, right there. And what I can do is, compare the two as I modify the JPEG here. But I'm going to switch to the optimize and basically do it that way. And just hit Control 0 or Command 0 on the Mac. And what I want to do is switch to JPEG. And you have different size options here. I'm going to choose medium to start with. Here is where we really have to change, though, is the image size. You can see here we have 4752 pixels. Way too big for the web. So I'm going to choose that 960. And by default, it changes the height to 640 because these are linked. You can see the link symbol here. Now, what's really important is you can see how much smaller it is here. If I zoom in here, zoom out just a little bit, there we go. We want, by default, this is going to convert to an sRGB profile, which is a standard, which is fine. In terms of everything else, leave optimize checked, but everything else can be unchecked. Monitor color is the preview mode, and then here is where you can have your metadata. So if you have copyright info and contact info, you can have that on there, and that's what's great about this box here. At this point, if I need to reduce this file size, I can adjust this setting here, the quality of 30, and it will give me a preview of the actual file size here down here at the bottom. So it looks like it's going to be 35K for this JPEG. And I'm going to go ahead and click the save button, and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call this Rain Down or something like that, and then click save. And then let's go ahead and open up that file again. So we had Rain Down, there it is. Click open. And again, if we go to image size, we can see here we got 960 by 640 by 72, 1.76 megs, which is what it was before. And as you zoom in, we have smoother transitions in the clouds. But again, this wouldn't be appropriate for print, but it would be great for the web. So again, that's through the File Export menu and choose the Save for Web Legacy. Now you can do the Export As. It's just that in here they have some options that have changed, and actually if you're working with this version that I have, it has the newer options, like it has the SVG option in here. It has the ability to convert to the sRGB mode. The reason why I'm not showing you this mode is because not all computers have this right now. If you've been working with an older version of Photoshop, you're not going to have the convert to sRGB color profile automatically set up here. So that's why I went with the legacy mode. So anyways, that's an overview of how to save your files properly for the web. Again, use that file export, choose the legacy mode, and adjust your pixels, and have fun. So until next time, see you soon. Cheers.